So we're still working on our journal and we're doing some elements for the inside. I've made this little kind of ephemera, mini ephemera folder, I suppose you would call it. I've made two, but I need to make a floral one. One of these will go into the woodland journal. So what I've done is I have started, but I am going to go over what I did. This is just a piece of file folder, and I have cut it to 22 centimetres or 8 3/4 inches by 11.5 centimetres or 4.5 inches. Then I grab my scoreboard. I'm using the Tim Holtz pocket die. If you don't have one of those, I will try and find the link to the one that I did a very long time ago, how you can make your own. It would work exactly the same and just as well. So what I've done is I have scored at 3.5 inches, and I use inches because these centimetre lines don't actually meet up with any of the grooves. So that's 3.5 inches, and then again I measured across another 3.5 inches and then added 1/4 inch again, so there's a bit of an overlap, and I've scored again. Now that's enough for the die cut to kind of fit in that gap, and there's a 1/4 inch gap here, so it's easy to fold. So that's what I did. I'm going to show you how I cut the image to size so it would fit that way, but it just so happens that the one I have actually fits perfectly, because obviously this one's going to go in the floral, and this is from my floral kit. Now if it was like this one and slightly longer, what I would do is take my pencil, I would give it an equal border all the way around, take my pencil and just put a little pencil mark where I want to cut, and for the flap, for the opening, I'm just lining that up roughly in the centre, taking my pencil and I'm just putting a tiny little mark where the opening is. If you can see that, it's just level with the opening. And I'm gonna try and very quietly grab my cutter, and I am going to use my cutting board because I want this to be completely straight. So I'm just lining the cutting line up with my little pencil mark, and I'm going to cut that. So I'm literally cutting my image in half. So this will fit like so. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is ink all of the edges of the file folder, ephemera folder, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm not going to ink the back because this is going to be glued in to my journal. Okay, so that's that done, and now I'm just going to ink around okay. So that's that done. Now on the first one I didn't do this, but it looked a bit plain, so I'm grabbing my good old faithful stamp, and before I start attaching elements, I'm never sure which way this goes up, I am just going to do some stamping around, and I'm putting quite a lot on here. The insides are going to be filled, it's only going to be the outside edges that are showing, but that's that done. Okay, so next step, we're going to glue on our front cover. So hello, just remove my bumpy glue. I want to make sure I'm putting this the right way up. Okay. I'm putting it right against the line, but trying to get a reasonable border at the top and bottom so they're kind of even. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do need to line both halves up perfectly, otherwise it will look very odd. I mean, we do cover up part of this image with the closure, but I don't think it's too intrusive. I'm using very, very small discs to do mine. So I'm lining that up. I'm trying not to get my head, I've got a towel on my head, so I'm trying not to get my head under the camera or too close because I don't want to knock the camera. Okay, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, I'm going to use my small punch to add my closures. In that way it doesn't take up too much of the image. Plus this is a small folder, it doesn't need a big closure. So I'm going to cut out 4 of those circles, and I'm also going to do one big one, and I will show you what I use that for shortly. So that's those done. Now I'm going to glue them first. I'm just going to glue 2 together. Doesn't need a ton of glue. And just going to ink the edges. I tend to stick to your hands and just give that little dab in the middle. Okay, right, now I'm going to use my ruler and my pencil, and I'm going to find roughly the centre, and it should be roughly at that 6 centimetre mark. Okay, and I think I'll pop it on that green leaf. She's lost her bead. Just about see that. And again, what I'm going to do is I just line that dot up to do the other side, and it's going to be somewhere on that pink petal, just on the edge. Okay, so with my awl, I'm just going to make that hole first, and because we're going to put a brad in, you do need to put it a little way. Let me just check. There it is. Sometimes it's quite difficult to see the pencil mark you've made. Okay, so I'm going to do that. What I am going to do is, no, I think I'm actually going to leave that plain. That's fine. Right, I have some very small brads, and I was silly enough to put them all in the same jar. So I'm just trying to find 2 that are the same. I mean, look how tiny those are. It's teeny weeny. Now, I'm going to pop my discs together and pop them down. I have my Arteza self-healing cutting mat under here, so hopefully it's okay. Okay, so put those holes in. cat is absolutely obsessed with these beads. I posted a picture on Instagram several weeks ago with her. That was the first bit. She just found the bead, started playing with the bead, and now she's obsessed with it. And when she loses it, she meows at us and we have to find it for her, and then she hides it again and we have to find it for her, and it's just a never-ending game of find the bead. Okay, now I'm not going to do these up too tight. I'm not going to put anything under here to stop it. I'm just not going to do the brad up tightly. You can see there's still room under here, and that would still spin. It's not too tight at all. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. The most difficult thing is getting the brad through the holes when you're working with these very small ones. That's not... There we go. And pop it in there, and again, I'm not going to do this up too tightly. Okay, so that would... There's still room under here, so that's that job done. Now the next thing is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my thread on. So this is the flap. Actually, that's upside down now. This is the flap. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit if I can. No, can't do it. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to take my string. I'm leaving it on the ball. I just find that a lot easier. I'm going to pop it under my disc, and I'm tying this into a double knot. I'm obviously all going to be fingers and thumbs because I'm filming this. Oh, missed that completely. I think we're about to have a little visitor. So I'm just going to cut that there. Hello. And I'm just going to cut a length off, and we can cut that to size later. Just cut that a little bit closer. Right, Luna, no. No. So that will close like so. We've got quite a lot there, so I'm gonna just trim that. So now we can do the decorating on the inside. Now this is what this disc is for. This side we're going to collage over, this side we're going to add a pocket, but what I want to do is just make sure nothing that we put inside the pocket is going to catch. So I'm going to glue my disc, and I'm going to put that down. Now because our brad is not tight, I'm going to turn it over and push from the front, and I'm going to burnish that because I really want that to stick nice and flat. And as you can see, that's now nice and smooth, and that's just going to hide that brad back when we do the pocket. So let's do the pocket. I've got a little folder of pockets, and the size that I'm using are trifold tag pockets. I think these are too big. They're obviously a journaling pocket. See if I've got any more in here. No, but that's fine. I'm quite happy with the music one. So I'm just going to cut this out. I mean, you can obviously measure if you wanted to make your pocket. You don't actually have to use one from my kit at all. You don't even have to have the flaps. You could just cut out a square and glue around the edge, that would work just as well. It's still going to be a pocket. Okay. Now of course going to have to ink the pocket. I'm going to decorate the pocket, and I mean this is music notes, so music kind of paper goes with anything, doesn't it? It's not going to not go, so I'm quite happy with this pocket. Okay. This comes together quite quickly once you've made one. You can make more fairly quickly. Bit of glue on there. And a bit of glue on there. So I'm going to pop that down. Now again, that brad is in the way, so I'm just going to make sure that's fairly straight, and I'm going to just push it down from the front. Okay, so that's that done. Now, like I said, I've used a die here, but you could of course make your own. Just going to ink these slots, which I forgot to do. So I'm going to glue this into place, and of course I'm only going to glue around the edges. And I'm going to try and line it up so the bottom of the pocket lines up with the bottom of this. Make sure that's flat. Press that down. Okay, so that's that done. Right, now the first thing I think I'm going to do is just cover this panel here, and I've got a little bag of bits and pieces. I think I'm going to, because it's a floral one, I think I'm going to go for a pink ticket. And what did I put on the others? Let's see what else I have. I think I'm going to use some mini pieces in here. That's quite sweet. Might go for the music so it matches the music on the other side. I have quite a lot of little floral elements actually to choose from. I think I like that one. So I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. Now these are actually printed on sticker paper, so I'm going to try and get the backs off. Actually no, I'm going to glue it. It's not sticker paper. Some of them are on sticker paper, but it's got text on the back, so I know these aren't the ones with the stickers. I'm just going to ink these tiny little elements. So I'm going to work on one section at a time. I'm not doing any sewing on these. So I'm going to line this up fairly close to the top. And I'm going to just make sure that's straight. Obviously you can't press from the other side because the brad is in the way, so just press that down there. Now work out which way up this little piece of music paper goes. And I'm gonna pop that at a little bit of an angle. Oops. These minis are quite fiddly. Some of them I made even smaller, which are extremely fiddly. I'm gonna pop that there. So that just covers that little section up nicely. Okay, I think I might work on this pocket next, and I've got some little labels. Now again, I want something floral to bring the floral theme in. I've got two of these. Let's have a look. They fit. That's quite nice actually. Rather than make a tag, this fits perfectly into those pockets. So I'm just going to ink this, and that's going to be our tag for that pocket. That's quite handy. Or do I prefer that one? No, this is going to be the pocket. This is going to be the tag for the pocket. The other one I'm going to use to decorate the pocket itself. On the toadstool one, I've used a vellum sticker, and I've used the tag from the trifold kit, because that, again, they fit perfectly into the trifold pockets. So that's a bit of a snug fit. So I'm just going to take a really small edge off that tag, and that should go in there a lot easier now. Yeah, still perfect fit, still very snug, but not quite as tight. So I've got a little label. What I'm going to do is tear around here. Now, do I want that? I think I'm going to tear along there, and I'm going to tear the text off. That's quite a nice fit. It may be that once I've added this, the label isn't going to be quite right, but we'll see. So this is the label I have. Oh yeah, I actually like that. That's fine. I mean, I have got lots more labels. I'm actually going to ink very slightly over that just to take the white off. Pop that in there. Okay, I'm really happy with that. So now we need to fill this section, and I'm just, again, I'm going to use bits and pieces. I think we'll have one of these. They're from various kits. They're just pieces that I cut out, and I'm not sure if we need another one. Possibly use another one of those. We've got a little Ex Libra, and I've got some of the tiny tags. I'm gonna take two floral ones. Actually, I might go, I think I'm actually going to take the floral and the butterfly. Sorry, Jamie, got me dangerous scissors out. She said when I got them out before, she held her breath because she knew what I was like with scissors. I'm glad I have, I give that much confidence when I'm using sharp tools. I don't know why people people panic. I suppose I am known for being fairly clumsy. I haven't got any major injuries at the moment, so that's quite good. Got a nice big bruise on the back of my leg, several cat scratches, but apart from that, I'm pretty injury free. I do have a very nice scar over my right eye, which I don't think, I've been waiting for it to clear up. Been using the lavender oil, but I don't think that's going to go. It was quite a gash, so I think that scar is now, I've already got one scar on that eye, so now I've got like a little V-shaped scar. Looks pretty cool. I call it my spike scar. If anybody watches Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you'll know what I mean. So we don't want to overload this, but we do want a few nice little bits and pieces in. That looks quite nice over there. I might have to switch these out once we do an envelope. So the last thing to add is an envelope. Now, I don't have, again, this is from the trifold kit and it is a toadstool, but I think we can cover that up because I like the pattern on these. It just makes that a little bit more interesting. I mean, I have got the pieces cut for here, but I just think they're a bit, I don't know, it's a bit dull for this project. Work with a lot of projects, but I don't think it's going to work with this. I kind of want this a little bit more floral. I mean, of course, you can decorate these any way you like. This a little bit. I've printed these onto heavyweight matte photo paper, so they're pretty springy until the glue is set. I didn't glue the inside of that. Now I think I'm going to go back to my minis and see what I can add to cover up that toadstool. It doesn't have to be completely covered, but it would be nice to not have the toadstool showing when this is the floral. Let's see if I've got anything. Maybe one of those again would get better. There's always oh, maybe I could do, what's this? This is the music cover. Maybe I could do, that would look quite nice because the green pulls the green from the stamp, so we're going to go for that. I always find it difficult to make decisions really quickly when I'm filming. I mean, when I'm working on my own, I can take as much time as I like, but when I'm filming, I'm conscious that you're, you know, maybe watching and just wanting it a bit faster. So I'm going to pop that one straight on. It does cover up a little bit of the text, but I'm good with that. And this last little piece, we're going to put that at the angle. Oh, glued myself to it. So that's the little envelope. Now I'm going to grab the paper clip from the toadstool one. These are the tiny little Tim Holtz paper clips, and they're perfect for this. I did use a normal paper clip and it works fine. It's just fairly big for this kind of project. So I'm just going to hold that in place with this tiny paper clip, and I think that's it. So that's the inside, and obviously you can use any ephemera pieces that you have. I've probably picked, yeah, that one's a little bit tall. Let me just quickly swap that out. There we go, that's fine. So that's the inside. And that's the outside. Now, I think I will put a label on the front of this just to match the other one. I might use a word, I might not. Let's have a little look. I think it has to be a red label. Maybe it should be a blue. When you're using these stickers, it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, I think I'm going to use the blue. It's a little bit difficult to kind of look at how they're going to look because obviously you've got all the sticker sheet around it. I'm still going to ink this before I put it down. These stickers, in case anybody is interested, are from Waterstones bookstore in the UK. I do want to line this up because it's a sticker, and once it's down for good. I'm quite happy with that. So these are our little ephemera, mini ephemera folders for our Arteza journal project. Thank you for watching. I will be back soon with more bits and pieces for the books. Bye.